Hey, check this out. Now, I bought this bank. It used to be a bank here, a couple, almost 2 years now, and people still drive in and they're like thinking that we're a bank. And I got this little thing here. I've played with it a few times where you can send the tube for the money over to there. When my grandchildren come in, we play with that some of the times. But uh, and I'm gonna be getting to today's video. I'm gonna talk about how I'm gonna make $1 million for one of my products that I have with one of my companies by May 1st of 2023. But there's a rule when with this bank, when I purchased it, is that they said that I cannot have a time machine placed outside for 5 years. So I have 3 more years. You wouldn't believe how many people come here on a daily basis. Let me get my camera set up here. On a daily basis to because they still think that it's a bank. Let me get this set up right. They still think that this is a bank. So people will come to the door, try to come in, and we're like, no, we're not a bank. You can leave your money if you want to. We still have a safe. You can leave your money if you want to. But I cannot put the time machine. But my wife and I talked about it, and we were like, maybe we shouldn't do that because you don't want to draw attention, and then could be issues with people trying to, steal the time machine. That has happened at some of the places, but they do have these different types now, so maybe it would be, I don't know, that's a decision that we're going to make in the future. But for this video, I want to talk about how I'm going to, yes, I'm speaking it into existence for a product that I have. I want to earn an extra $1 million by May 1st, 2023. So if you're watching this video after that, then you'll be able to call or be able to put in the comments, Steve, did you make that $1 million? I'll tell you exactly how much I made for this particular product. So for this product that I'm going to be doing this for, the cost of it is $584.95. For me to be able to make $1 million, I would need to have 1,700. It was 0.5 because we can't split people into points, in the halves. It's going to be 1,710 customers. And if I divide that, we got what? March, April, May. So if we just say, let's just pretend like I have a full 90 days to do this. So I would divide that by 90. That means that I would need to have 18 customers per day. So now to get 18 customers per day, I would need to know how many leads do I need to get to be able to have a realistic opportunity to sell 18 people per day. And I can tell you from previous results, to be able to sell 18 customers per day, I would need on a monthly basis somewhere around, I think it was 9,000 leads per month to be able to sell 18. Now, the number could be higher. I'm just talking about on an average, we would need to be able to get about 9,000 leads per month. Now, let me tell you, let me break this part down here with you. So, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna work up. You might be saying, well, man, that's a lot of people that you have to talk to or that you have to present your information to be able to get to 18 customers a day. Why is it so high on here? This is like the stuff that other places I don't know. They don't talk about it. I know inside of big mastermind groups that I've been parts of is that we talk about this because we know. Like I've been in some mastermind groups where they're trying to do $1 million, and the lead volume is like 30,000 leads in them per month that they would need to be able to have. It just depends on the type of product or service that you have. That's what determines that. Also, what can determine how many leads you need to have could be the competition. Like, what does the market believe about your product or service? Let me tell you, you could have the best product or service, but because the education of the market is at a different level, it can make it a little bit harder for you to sell your product or service, especially if you're selling information. Because if you're selling how-to information to someone, they'll believe that they can go on YouTube. They'll believe that they could go on LinkedIn. They could go all of these places to get this free information. They get an ebook, all that stuff, and do what you're trying to charge them to do, thousands of dollars to do, and they can go and do it for free. And the problem is that some of the stuff that people do teach people, they can go out there and do it for free. That's why they can actually learn that. That's why a lot of people have a lot of trouble. Number one, just being able to sell people at a high level, period, because the stuff that they're telling people is like the same stuff that they can go out and get for free. So for my mindset, it's like the first thing that I want to concentrate on is the 9,000 leads, because you will not get here, or I will not get here for this particular product if I don't solve this problem first. So the first thing that I do, which I've already solved the problem, I'm just running you through it, is that I will, what I call, I'm going to change my color so it can, let's put it in green. So we talk about some money. I want to double or even triple my efforts for this particular product here. For me to make that extra $1 million by May 23rd, I would have to end up doubling my efforts on lead generation. I know from the team that I have, from the sales process that I have, by doubling my efforts, that I would be able to achieve somewhere around 18 customers per day. Now, let me tell you my mindset on how I do this, because I think that this is something that a lot of people get confused about. They get upset when they're trying to make sales with their business, or when they're generating leads. Like, oh, I have a lot of people, they'll contact me and they'll be like, Steve, what is the closing rate of the leads that when they're asking me these questions, because they're just trying to figure out, they're trying to get in, they're trying to wrap around in their mind how they can justify to spend more money on leads when they're already having trouble closing the leads that they have right now. Like they're not getting the result that they want to get. And this is like a secret. Let me tell you, this is a secret. This is one of those you didn't even know that you didn't know, and that's why you're having this problem. But I figured this out when I committed to doing a 3-month cycle. I don't know if you've seen some of my other videos. There was one that I particularly had, and you could go on YouTube and watch it, where I did this 3-month cycle where I committed, where I was like, no matter what, I'm going to commit. So the commitment number one was that I was going to generate leads. I was going to generate leads daily. I was going to generate the right type of lead daily. Now, a lead is not a customer. A lead is a lead. People get kind of confused where they're thinking a lead is a customer. I've even had people, when I was doing campaigns for other companies, where they would be like, the leads that I get, I want them to have their credit card ready, how much money they're willing to pay, all that. I was like, what? Why would I even give you that type of lead when I could just keep that lead for myself? That type of lead does not exist. And even if that type of lead existed, you're not going to get it for like $10 per lead. That's going to be like a buyer's lead, which is going to be a lot higher. So, and just to tell you, but I'm just here to tell you, those leads don't exist. I've done leads, which is the highest leads, is either in the business loan industry or the mortgage industry. These companies are paying $500 a lead, and these people are not committed to going with them for their mortgage. They're not committed to that. So you're going to pay a high leads cost money. So what I did is I said, I'm going to generate leads. I'm going to do, this was a 3-month, no questions in my mind commitment. I was just going to do it for 3 months. So the first thing I did is I figured out how to generate leads for that specific business. This is for one of my companies. I said, I'm going to figure out how to generate the leads online for this particular company, because this was the one that I wanted to be able to make money while I was sleeping. I wanted to be able to do business in all 50 states. So we didn't have locations in all 50 states. So the first goal, number one, was to generate leads in all 50 states where I'm not at. So I learned to do that. From trial and error, I learned to do that. Once I figured that out, I said I was not going to stop, because the next thing that we were going to have to do is close the leads. So now the process, and I see a lot of people get this confused, and I understand, I feel it, I understand it, but it's a psychological block that you got to get over. And I got over it. And the more you get over it, the more money you're going to make. Is that these two have nothing to do with each other. If you generate leads specifically for your product or service, you should continue running the leads. And then if you have a problem closing the leads, you need to work on closing the leads. You do not have to worry about this anymore. You should continue doing this, and then you should continue working on closing your leads. Now, one benefit, here's a benefit. If you generate leads, you will have test groups that you can keep calling, keep emailing, keep texting to be able to figure out what will make your leads close. That is one big benefit that I teach in my program, where I'm like, okay, let's just say that you don't have the money to continue for 3 months, that you only had enough to continue for 1 month or 2 months. You got money in the bank, because the leads, they were generated the right way. You can start to continue following up on them until you start to get some sort of success, and then you just start everything back up again. But for me, from what I did is I said, I'm going to spend the money. I kept on for 3 months. So we figured that out. People were not closing at first, and I worked with my sales reps with their scripting. I worked on my website. This is exactly what we did. Is my sales reps, we had the script, and they worked on that. And I had the website funnel, and I was continually working on that. So when people would go to my website, and there's a tool that you can utilize to see people on your website, how long they're staying on your website. And I just kept building out a sales page. And I knew that the sales page was working because people were staying on that page longer. They were like reading, watching. It was like they were talking to us. And I utilized the same information from the script on the sales page. And then we would ask people, when they signed up, what made you want to sign up? And when people didn't sign up, we asked them what didn't what stopped you from signing up? And we enhanced the script, we enhanced the sales page, and then all of a sudden, we started making sales. I'm talking about, for this particular product, the highest month was 330 new clients. Let me tell you what 330 new clients was. 330 was $193,000. 193, yeah, 193,050. That's what that made right there in just 1 month, right there, 1 month. So you can see that if my mind was not right, I would have been thinking. And there's one other thing that I did. I want to make clear on something. And this was what happened once we got everything going and worked out all of the bugs. Is that this was the commitment? But let me tell you something that I also found out when I was doing this. This is very important. This is very, very, very important. And a lot of people had this problem when they're doing leads. Okay, so say you generate, we'll just, to make it easy, we'll just say 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. Let's just pretend like these are the leads that you're generating on a daily basis. This is a low number, but I'm just using this for an example. What I see a huge problem with people, and this is when I made that 3-month commitment. I don't even know why I picked 3 months, but I just picked 3 months. But well, probably because at that time, it's been years since I did that. I think that at that time I just said, I'm gonna give it a good 3 months, and that's probably why I picked 3 months. But one of the things that I learned when I was doing the process is that I didn't always make a sale that day from this batch. I didn't always make a sale from that day from this batch or this batch. What I would start to see, and it really started showing itself on day 7, was that on day 7, so this is like day 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then we have day 7. What I had started seeing was that on day 7, people over here were sales. And then on day 8, people over here were sales. And people over here were sales. Not to say that we didn't sell some of the leads on that day. That would happen from the batch that we got. But I started seeing more of the sales were coming here like after 7 days. Now, what did we do? So you might be saying, well, okay, Steve, what did you do to stay in the people's mind 7 days? They became a lead 7 days ago. Why would they decide to come and sign up with you? Did you call them or something like that? No. A lot of these people were people who decided to sign up on their own. What we did is we had that email follow-up. I call that top of mind. Remember, I said I was working on the website funnel. They were working on the script. Inside of what I was doing with the website funnel is I was making emails that would go out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And what I did is I did them 3 days apart. So every 3 days, so the people here were going to get another email right here. And then they were going to get another email right here. And it was going to be showing what we could do for them. But what I did is I crafted it into a content video. So I would say, well, if you have this issue, this is what you can do. And at the end of the video, all I did was I just said, hey, if you would like to work with our company, the link is below that video. And that was on my website. And what I did is I would just do that as a blog. So what I did, this is becoming more of a lesson than I even had anticipated, but I might as well put it out there. This is what I did. So after they became a lead, we would send them the email. The email would go back to a blog on my website that had the content, and I always put a video. I wanted people to get to see that I was in front, that this was a real company. So on the blog, it was a video, and then people would read, and it had a call to action. And the call to action, when they clicked it, it went to the sales page that I just told you that I was working on. And on the sales page, it had the sign up button with our different plans. and we would get the money without them even talking to anybody. This was the experience that I went through. And there was even another added experience that I didn't even know that was going to pay off for me doing it this way. So when you do this, you're obviously going to get Google ranking for your site because you're getting content, and Google likes to scrape and pull content. That's how they fill up their searches. But another benefit that I had is that I was putting these videos, I was utilizing YouTube for the videos. So you can see how all of this can work together. You know, all of this was like different pieces that I accidentally put together. And now that I know, I intentionally do my stuff this way, because now I know that putting that video on YouTube, putting that information on my website in the blog section is going to pull customers here. It's going to also make people get identified with me as with the business and what we can do, showing what we can do. They don't care about me, but they want to know that they're dealing with somebody that's real. And then with the YouTube, it can end up where you get more credibility because you're demonstrating what you could do. And then that will equal people, because when they would go to YouTube, they would come back here to the sales page and they would be able to sign up. So that's how this is exactly what we put into place, and it's still working to this day. And I mean, it's just a great thing. So I know that that's a lot thrown at you right now. If you, number one, please like this video. Please share it. Please post your questions or comments. There's different services that we have available with my company. I would say the number one is the Let's Level Up Your Business 5-Day Challenge. We're going to be, another class is going to be coming up very soon. Also, my program where I just teach you exactly how to advertise your business. Maybe it's me, but I'm like this. If you can generate leads on a daily basis, you will be able to generate sales, because it's like, that's the number one thing that stops businesses from growing, is they just don't have enough people to talk to. And I know that you're good at your business. I know you know what you're doing. You just need more people to talk to. If you can have more people to talk to, you'll be more successful with your business. Thank you for your time. Please subscribe. Please post your questions and comments. And then, until next time, this is Stephen A. Williams, President and Founder, Blue Book MKE, and Let's Level Up Your Business 5-Day Challenge.